Do you want a stunning nano tank without stressed fish or maybe eaten shrimp? Well, these are my top 5 nano fish that look insane in your aquascapes and actually thrive in a nano tank. Hey everyone, Michael here. Welcome back to Aquascape Odyssey. I'm all about nano tanks, shrimps, and aquascapes that actually last more than a week. Today, I'm breaking down 5 nano fish that I've had success with in my planted aquariums. They're all small, extremely peaceful, and of course, shrimp friendly. I'll tell you the tank size and how many to keep and the mistakes that I've made along the way so you don't have to. Let's start off with the classic, Chili Rasboras. These are tiny, around 2 centimeters, and they look amazing in a planted aquarium, almost like glowing embers as they cross the water column. They come alive typically around a group of 10 to 15. Now, if you have more filtration, then you can handle a more group or a larger group size as well. They are super peaceful, and of course, as always, they do not bother shrimp. That's my main concern for all of my tanks. Now, the biggest mistake I typically see with beginners in Chili Rasboras is not setting up the aquarium properly. You need to have enough plants and a cover area like I do in this aquarium where they can have some shade from the overall bright light. They do thrive more in a lower light setting in a little bit of a tannin-rich environment, but I've been able to get them to thrive in a bright show tank by having a sheltered area. Now you can tell if they're stressed out if they start to lean more towards the glass area, and also their colors aren't as vibrant. They don't look like that ember red like you're seeing in this tank right here. So that's number 1. Chili Rasboras, hands down, number 1 for nano tanks and shrimp safe. Next up is one of the prettiest nano fish that you can keep in your aquarium, and is the celestial pearl Danios, or also known as CPDs. Now these look like miniature trout. They have speckled bodies, orange fins for the males, and they honestly are one of the prettiest nano fish that I've seen in the hobby. Now they are a little shy unless you have a ton of stem plants, mosses, or hardscapes that they can hide behind. Typically you want to keep a school of them around 8 to 12. They become more bold. They actually become more active in the water column. So I recommend around 8 to 12 in something around a 10 gallon. Now with shrimp, they are usually, keyword, usually fine. So I wouldn't keep your prized shrimp with them because they may eat some of the shrimplets. They're able to hover a lot more actively than something like a Chili Rasbora is. So just be aware, they may eat some of your shrimplets. That's the caution. They do not sit at the bottom. They are more of a mid water column fish. Highly recommend them in a nano tank. Number 3 is a little bit more unusual. It is the Sundadanio axelrodi, and it is the blue variant that I have. You can also get them in a, I think, green or red variant. I have them in the blue variant, and if you want something that doesn't show up in every fish store for a nano tank, this is definitely your pick. They do best in calm communities or species tanks. No big or pushy tank mates around them. Now they do shine over a darker substrate. However, I've been able to make them flourish and pop in my lighter substrate. In my new aquarium that you'll see that's right here being built, it will be a darker substrate, so we'll see the difference. But highly recommend them if you're looking for something out of the norm that you don't typically see every day in a fish store. Number 4 is the clown killies or rocket fish, something like that. I call them clown killies. That's what their branded name is. Now these are top dweller species, and they hang out right under the surface And the males have this gorgeous rainbow flagtail that looks like a tiny rocket. They are perfect for scapes and help make an empty space towards the surface. So if you're trying to fill that top portion of your water column, these are the fish for you. They are super fun to watch when they are feeding. The only caveat I would give you all is it's not a recommended fish if you have a light that does not ramp up to the full spectrum when it's turning on. If it just blasts on right away, you definitely want a cover or some surface plants to prevent them from jumping. So that is my one tip for you, one mistake that I learned when starting out. And if you want them to breed, they will. Just do something like this. In this corner over here, I have a bunch of floating plants and a plant that goes outside the water, creating a bog system in that area. And the clown killies love going in there. That is where they breed and spawn. I've had a ton of spawns in that area, so highly recommend creating a area for them of refuge versus a large body open like I have over here. So clown killies, highly recommend them. They just add so much to that surface. And finally, number 5 at the bottom is something that we do not talk enough about, and it is the Panda Loach. Now these stay typically at the bottom, and they have this cute panda pattern that works really well with rock heavy aquascapes. Just be aware they do love oxygen and they thrive in mature tanks, so you don't want to throw them in a brand new aquascape. Let that thing kind of mature out and then throw them in. They're kind of like your Caridina shrimps. That tank needs to be matured, needs to have enough biofilm for them to graze on. So give them smooth stones, plenty of surfaces to graze on, and keep them in groups so they're not really stressed out. Typically, I keep mine in around 4 to 5 for a group. They are hard to find, but make sure you order enough. They aren't captivity bred right now, so it's a little bit harder on, they're just very stressed out when they're juveniles. So make sure you order a couple extra for your aquarium just in case some of them do not make it. But as always, they're working that bottom substrate, all of the rocks, all of your hardscape. So I don't have enough round hardscape, but I have enough wood and of course round plants with my anubises, my crypts, that they just graze on them. So if you're looking to add some bottom movement to your aquarium, Panda Loaches are key for a nanoscape. Before you jump out of that seat and go and buy these, let me break down some of the simple steps that I follow to make sure we have the right nano fish for your tank and that keep shrimp safe. Number 1, make sure your aquarium is cycled. That is number 1. Rule number 2, you also want to go through and make sure you stock by the footprint. You're not stocking by the gallons. And fish do a lot better, not in a cube, but a taller or longer aquarium. That's why this tank right here is mostly stocked with all of my fish in this nanoscape room on the channel, in my scape place, in my studio. There we go. So you want to make sure you're stocking by footprint. Now, rule number 3 is to aim for one main schooling species. That way you have the right cleanup crew next and not a random mix of 1 or 2 of everything. You want to make sure you have one main schooling focal point, which mine is the chili Rasboras for this tank, and the rest complement it as well. And rule number 4, if your shrimp are the priority, then you want to treat the fish as a guest, not the other way around. Let me know in the comments below which 5 nano fish you want to keep in your next nano tank. And if you're planning a new build, I have the perfect video for you. It is all about low maintenance plants that works extremely well with any of these fish. I'll link it up right here as well. And thanks for hanging with me today. I'm Michael Chave with Aquascape Odyssey. I'll see you all on the next video.